What up, everyone? I'm the one, the only Jax Slater, the man with the plan. Yeah. And I'm bringing to you for the first time in Comic Outlaw because we're introducing different outlaws as everything goes on. And we introduced Magnus before, and now we're introducing Logan Slater. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Oh, yeah. Let me help you with that, buddy.
Oh, my back. Oh,
You can't hold that.
yeah. I figured.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have told you about that.
Yeah. I'm not worthy about that one.
Yeah, you got to be worthy, and I'm worthy of it.
You don't think about titties or what?
No, that's I do.
Okay.
A lot, actually.
I was just wondering, like, how does it work? But anyways.
Well, it's because my father's from Asgard.
That's true, yeah.
So, I inherited the right to carry this hammer.
Yeah, my stepfather's Bruce Wayne. That's why I inherited the fear ring.
Yeah.
But at any rate, this is my cousin. He runs another section. Just like Magnus runs like a sort of sci-fi, fantasy section. This is another Slater. He runs a different multiverse. And as you can tell, he has different powers. And we want to talk about current century 80s stuff. Horror and other such things. And let me just say now, because he's often told me, Michael J. Fox in this reality, I guess, is alive.
He's, in fact, alive, yes, in this reality that we're in right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I do not know that. I thought he was dead. Forgive me. But apparently he's alive. So.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Well, you travel from place to place, you know what I mean?
Well, in some universes, he is dead, yeah.
In some universes, he's actually president.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, usually. But anyways, we want to talk about different things from the 80s, from your current 80s. And we feel like it's a generation lost.
It is. It is. It's a whole different, sad time these days compared to the 80s. Of course we're partial to it because, well, who isn't? And then kids these days, they're trying to revamp 80s styles. That's how cool it is.
And keep in mind, we're keeping politics out of this. There's no
politics. We're not talking about Reagan.
None of
Reaganomics.
None of that.
We will not do that. Or any other. But yeah, so the kids today, the 80s were so cool, they're trying to revamp it. But it's a fake copy of what the actual 80s were. They weren't there. They didn't live that. The movies aren't the same. The music's never going to be the same. Not in this reality.
You know what I find funny? This girl, and this is weird, she's younger, a lot younger, and she was talking to me about Kurt Cobain.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Kurt Cobain, and I thought he was overrated. I loved Alice in Chains. I loved Soundgarden. You know what I mean? When I heard Kurt Cobain talk, he just I don't like my fan, I just I didn't feel him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a different perspective because she's not there. Like my father, he was there for The Wall.
Yeah.
When I was there to remember it. And perspective kind of sets in motion what you think of certain things.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're a child of the 80s, you're going to look at 80s still a certain way. Or Nirvana, that's funny you should say that because I didn't like Nirvana when they came out. I hated Nirvana for years.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And then finally, years later, a girlfriend of mine had a Nirvana album, a live album.
Oh, yes, I've heard that one unplugged.
It was live from the muddy banks of the Wishka.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Wishka River in Washington.
I had an ex-girlfriend that had the same one.
What was her name? Never mind, let's not even...
Jessica.
Uh-oh. Anyway.
We'll get into that cousin.
Yeah, that's another show.
That's neither here or there.
But, so I borrowed that tape, and with a different perspective, looking at it, not from, Nirvana's the big thing, everybody's trying to be like grunge. But after the fact, then I listened to it with an open mind. Then I said, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. Especially, it was live, so it was real raw.
Yes.
I love real raw music, and then, man.
That's why I love the Unplugged album they did.
Mm-hmm. The MTV.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fantastic album, too.
Alice in Chains, though, I thought blew them out of the water. But that's my opinion.
Oh, in the Unplugged?
I think Alice in Chains was the best grunge band of that time. You could disagree with me on the section below.
Yeah, let's hear your comments because we'd like feedback on that.
Yeah.
Everybody, see what everybody's point of view is on that.
Exactly.
Now, I saw Alice in Chains live last year.
Oh my god! Let me get a tear out of my eye.
But the thing was, Lane isn't there, so it could never be the same without Lane.
Yeah, he recently passed away in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually still alive, and it, like I said, whole different angle.
In this reality, he's dead. But the new singer, I was like, it's not gonna be. It's gonna suck. And you know what? It wasn't the same. But I gotta give credit to the new singer. He can fucking jam. He can sing. He can get up there and rip the guitar. I mean, he was, and the sound was spot on. Getting to see Jerry Cantrell out there playing, that was pretty.
If we're talking about the '90s, what about Sublime?
Man.
Sublime with Rome. Have you heard them?
Yeah, but it's not the same.
But still, it has that sound.
It does sound like some.
Really good. I mean, take it or leave it. It's a great song.
Rome is good. He's talented, and they do have the Sublime sound. I can't argue.
I mean, look at all the bases that Metallica has gone through since the '80s, since Cliff Burton passed away in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul. I got this one right. He's dead in this reality.
He is dead.
Okay. Okay, in this reality, I'm just making sure, since I did the Michael J. Fox thing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus, I know you're out there because you were complaining about it. He's still alive.
But so Cliff Burton is gone, but the different bassists. But see, that's just a bassist, though. There's the difference: a frontman and a bassist. Frontman and the lead guitarist make the band.
What about AC/DC? That was a shift from Scott Bonham to Brian Johnson.
Well, from Bon Scott to
Bon Scott,
Brian Johnson,
yeah,
and then it went off the fucking wall with Brian Johnson to Axl Rose.
I tend to forget that era.
Yeah,
I wasn't here for that.
Well, I mean, and they had to do something. They had sold all these tickets. They were going to face legal prosecution for not doing the shows if they didn't go. They had to do some shit, so they got Axl. It was a weird fucking thing, but Brian's back in AC/DC.
Yes.
So,
one of the greatest 80s bands, in my opinion. But
rock gods.
80s horror.
Ah, man. You know, in the 80s, I used to be scared by horror. I'm not scared by horror anymore.
Well, they do it too much. It's too much.
They rely too much on CGI.
Yes.
They rely more on that than they do good storylines, actual scary content. Back then, they didn't have the CGI, the special effects. They had to, and it was, to me, it was scarier. You know?
Well, you even take the Conjuring universe, for example, which is actually based on true events.
Yeah.
Annabelle is this porcelain doll in the movies, and yet, in the real life, she's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Oh.
For real, like, if you look
So
it
the
up.
porcelain just look better for the movies.
Yeah.
But it's based on. Well, that's why they have to say, based on, but then they take all these liberties for the actual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, even
Amityville was supposed to be based on real events too.
Yes. Actually, they were there to bless that house. The two people, I forget their names from Conjuring. They were there too. He was the only man that was set out by the Catholic Church to do exorcisms for real in this reality.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually able to do Catholic Church legal exorcisms. And we're not trying to talk about religion. We're not trying to get into that or politics. We're just stating the facts. When it comes to horror, we're not trying to make no big political debate unless we're trying to decide on who Hooters is bigger, She-Hulk or Power Girl. Another episode for another day.
That's a good one, though. We need to touch back on that.
Yeah.
Another time. So, what else? I mean, think about Aliens.
Yes, I loved 80s Aliens.
Alien, yeah, that was a freaking classic. Aliens was scary as shit. Scared the hell out of me.
Oh, no, this is an R-rated show, cousin. You can say fuck.
Oh, man, Aliens scared the
time.
fuck out of me.
You can say it all the time.
The 80s Aliens, fuck that first one. Jesus. That whole concept, it was the first time I've been exposed to it, and it was fucking freaky.
Even the art, like wonderful creature, like art, sci-fi effects so ahead of its time.
Maybe things aren't as scary now because it's all already been done. It's just they're revamping. It's just different versions of the same shit.
There are hopeful movies. Look at Maw.
Have you seen it yet? No.
It is a great example of 80s horror. Very suspenseful. Left it open for a sequel. I think it's one of those ones that could carry.
Oh, I need to watch it then. Okay.
But they've been remaking 80s movies into 90s movies. Some of them are successful. Like I showed you, The Critters.
That was very successful.
And then others
nailed it.
Like Puppet Master were just like...
Yeah.
Now, I made videos about Puppet Master, and I just want to say this right now. if you watch my videos on Puppet Master, you know how much I love it. I don't like the idea, and I'm going to say spoilers, right? Spoilers! Spoilers for everything we do. I'm going to say Andrew Toulon was a Jew, and them murdering his wife was crucial to the Killer Puppet story, you know?
Yeah.
And now the new movies, he's a Nazi scientist.
Yeah.
The puppets are experiments. It just, it doesn't work for me. You know what I mean?
Well, because the negative connotations that come with the Nazi party and all that fucked up shit.
I know, but I was used to having killer puppets, and Toulon was sort of doing this for a reason. And they flipped the script. It's like Freddy Krueger, like, oh yeah, well, he was actually just a innocent school teacher, and by some means of happenstance, he was framed for murder and then burnt at the stake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, those are other ones. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
You could go on and on about the horror movies in the 80s. Fucking Hellraiser. Hellraiser was freaky.
Oh, man, Hellraiser. I actually wanted to cover Clyde Baker's secret show. Do you know all the worlds connect?
Yeah.
Fun fact. When they made Evil Dead, they wanted to include the Necronomicon in certain movies like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And if you look very closely, it's in one of the scenes.
Oh, is it? I missed that.
Because he liked the idea of joint universes. And that's why I did that Ash versus Freddy versus Jason. Because it's already been established that it's in a joint universe.
Oh, shit.
And even Chucky and Hellraiser. Because Chucky, if you watch Bride of Chucky and that John Ritter gets hit in the face with all his nails,
yeah,
you're like, that looks familiar.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, okay. See, this is why he's the comic outlaw.
Yeah.
He knows all things.
Well, this is why he's the tough guy and I can't lift a hammer.
Yeah. He doesn't know about Michael J. Fox. But other than that...
Yeah, sorry, I don't know about current stars. I just know about comic books.
And horror. And Michael J. Fox isn't either.
Oh,
so,
and not paying fraternity suits.
Yeah. Those suck.
Indeed they do.
I won't get into that right now. I'm pretty broke. Pretty broke because of that.
I know. Subscribe to the show. Help us out.
Yeah.
Throw us a quarter.
Visit our Patreon. You know.
But anyways, we Critters.
Man,
I love Critters as a kid.
The Critter Ball is one of the most creative fucking things I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Critters Part 2, just so you don't know.
The fucking Critter Ball. Man, that's genius.
And
fucking genius.
let's recap for the kids that don't know. Critters are like these little space porcupines. They're like terrorists.
Yeah.
They end up like escaping and landing on Earth. And the more they eat, the bigger they get. Or they morph into different things.
They come from other planets just to wipe out the population and eat everybody, and they reproduce. They multiply very fast. And all they do is roll around.
Mm-hmm.
They roll around little balls until they find somebody, and they just eat them.
Now, you Star Trek
And
fans,
multiply.
imagine tribbles
Tribbles.
with what they would really look like.
Tribbles from hell.
Yes, with spines that would knock you the fuck out.
Spines. Just tribbles. Instead of just multiplying machines, they're multiplying and eating machines. Picture that, if you will.
Now, I know this for a fact, cousin, because I looked this up.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio's first movie in this reality was from Critters Part 3.
His very first movie.
His very first movie out of Growing Pains.
Cause I didn't even know that.
I was surprised.
I thought he was on a TV show.
Yeah, Growing Pains.
Growing Pains.
Show me that smile, okay? Show me that smile.
Talk about horror. That is horrible. Don't watch that show.
Indeed.
It's too horror. It's too much horror.
Mike Seaver will not save you.
Nobody should ever endure that.
You want to see some horror, watch his Christmas special.
Ah.
That'll rot your flesh out as you watch it, just like opening the ark.
That's obscene horror. It's just too much. It's too much horror.
Now, what about Michael Myers?
Man.
Now, who would you prefer, Michael Myers or Jason?
Jason, man. Jason's always been my favorite. The machete, the fucking ski mask, or the hockey mask. Scary as fuck. And he was invincible. He would just keep going. And Michael Myers they were the same in that all they did was kill, and there was no reason why. They just fucking killed. But Michael Myers, those movies didn't really. They're scary. They're good. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, naked, nude, topless in them.
She was an hermaphrodite.
Hmm.
No, for real life.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that surprised the shit out of me.
I mean, it's got gratuitous nudity in them, but so does the Friday the 13th. Just gotta throw that gratuitous nudity.
Yeah, titties are a big thing in the 80s. I don't know why we don't bring that back.
Horror movies had to have titties. Yeah.
You know, all right, cousin. If everything's fair and we're doing the whole Me Too thing, in Baywatch, the men walk around without their shirts and they walk around topless. Why can't the women?
Yeah, that's inequality.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck.
But
inequality.
But anyways, you know, like 80s and stuff like that. You know, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. What else? So Michael Myers, that's a huge one, and a lot of people loved it.
Well, there's so much like what they call the Michael Myers verse. You know, like Halloween, it goes up to Halloween Part 5 because like he was a descendant of this and that. You know. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a call from the multi.
No. The multiverse can wait. We're doing important shit right now.
Ooh, are you getting a call from Miss Marvel?
Yeah, that bitch is always blowing up my phone.
She'd be like, you could call on Tyrone.
I'm tired of her shit, though. She's drama. That bitch is crazy.
Dude, try just sleeping with Jennifer Walters. You got to keep one eye open. I mean, one eye.
I'm glad you managed to survive. So now with that bitch.
Well, you know, I tend to get around. I like being a strong woman, you know. I like thighs if you can clinch on.
She-Hulk is kind of rough, though, because she wants to cuddle you at night, and in her sleep, she could crush you. I've gotten injured like that before. I know you have, too. Remember that one time? Well, we won't talk about that time with you and her, but that could have been really bad.
Oh, what about that time you snuggled with Titania? You know, the Absorbing Man's woman. He beat the Absorbing Man's ass and then took his woman.
I beat his fucking ass with this. Wasn't hard.
Redhead, clearly.
Hey, she was wild. It was worth it.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Get better. Mwah.
But
anyway, we're getting off track. That's what we do. We love the 80s. 80s cartoons, 80s music, 80s horror, and
80s toys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mask.
Toys. Oh, the mask. Remember when we used to play that, cousin? Yeah. We had all the masks. Oh,
G.I. Joe.
Mad Balls.
Yes.
Another 80s thing.
I'm wearing my classic 80 Marvels t-shirt just for that.
Mm-hmm. Mask was badass. G.I. Joe. Yeah, the Transformers.
Yeah.
Micro Machines.
Oh, I love
Remember that?
Machine, yes.
That was a
Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man.
Oh, dude.
They're even redoing He-Man now.
Yeah, I miss my Castle of Grayskull, man.
So do I.
Oh, I had my Star Wars, my Ewoks, all my Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
Cool shit in the 80s. You just can't go on and on.
That's why they're remaking a lot of it now. I mean, the cartoons have certainly gone down. So has horror, like you were saying. A lot of the horrors have basically just been carbon copies.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
It's different versions of that. It's predictable. You watch these movies and you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
if you're a kid now watching movies, it's cool. But, you know.
Well, that's why I like that Mom movie, because it's the same formula but different. Happy Death Day. Mm-hmm. That was an interesting one.
You know, the Ring was cool because The Ring was original. It was
yes.
All original. They made
the
a whole
Japanese version was really cool, too.
Yeah. They made a whole new thing with it. It was undone before. That's what, you know.
Yeah, it creeped you out,
It's a fucking game changer.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's why Full Moon, like Puppet Master or Doll Man, you know, like these certain Full Moon. Look it up if you don't. Google it if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's out there.
They'll keep it going, you know. Like these certain companies and certain like weird things stay around. Killer Clowns.
Yeah, those are timeless. That'll never go away.
And I think horror needs to have that certain genre now.
What about The Exorcist?
Oh yes.
Fuck. That was a fucking trippy movie.
When I think of like modern, maybe Devil's Rejects, the whole Rob Zombie. Mm-hmm. Although the new one was kind of, it was like I love Devil's Rejects. I love the ending. Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah.
Spoilers again. Spoilers.
Did you see the newest one?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
That's what broke my heart a little bit because it was so perfect the way it ended.
Well, don't tell me. Don't spoil it.
No, I mean Devil's Rejects.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
it's just hard to top that. You know what I mean?
And then they'd go and let's make it to where they actually didn't die.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like they survived over 200 shots to their body.
Why? Yeah. Why didn't he just make a whole new movie? Why did he have to? He didn't.
Or even if they were resurrected by Satan.
Rob Zombie didn't have any creativity, so he had to just revamp that. And he should have made a whole nother.
Well, he made this carnival movie a while back. I can't remember the name there, where people get stuck in it and they have to fight for their lives.
Oh shit, I didn't see that
thing. But yes, 80s. Boy, times have changed. There's really, I want me a good slasher movie. I mean, where are my good slashers? You know, where are my good killing movies? You know, we got these good suspenseful movies where you get a shock every once in a while. You know, like out of nowhere, someone come up and be like, ah, ah, and then 12 minutes of, well, Jim, I don't know about the demon. We maybe ought to leave the house that's possessed and take the kids out before this thing comes back an hour later and tries to fuck us in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That has been played out many times.
That's the sad part.
Versions of that right there. Yeah. So, what else, man? What, The Exorcist, though, that was the one with the clown, right? The kid had the clown doll. And
No, that was Poltergeist.
Nah, not The Exorcist. Poltergeist. If you haven't seen that shit, check that out.
That movie has a legitimate curse where actors died on that shit.
Yeah, it's the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
And where she's counting down the thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know, and she's counting between the thunder, and then like she counts down, and it's like right there.
Like they're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. Part 3 was actually pretty
Getting
good.
goosebumps thinking about it.
It was a little rushed, but it was really awesome. Phantasm, remember Phantasm with the little ball?
Yeah.
The spike would pop out.
Oh, yeah.
I actually got all 4 parts of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying about movies. This is what me and my cousin are going to introduce. We're going to kick a different side of Outlaw comic. We're going to be doing horrors. We're going to be covering metal. We're going to be covering different sides of the story. Because this is how the show works. You know.
We're going to give reviews, horror movie reviews. Maybe you can watch this and know whether you should or shouldn't waste your time with a shitty movie.
Yes, indeed.
You know,
especially Critters.
I wish a lot of people had told me that shit before I watched a bunch of these shit movies.
Mm-hmm.
But Critters, every one of them, classic. You can't go wrong. And they've kept the same kind of thing going through all 5 movies. The 5th one is as good as the first one. They kept it true. They didn't deviate. You know, they did a little bit. In the
Did you see the weird zombie movie where, like, I can't remember the title, where they find a zombie girl and the dude's humping her? And she's like a prostitute. And he brings her friends in to hump her.
No,
They
but
get bitten by a zombie. And
that sounds cool.
like they're raping a zombie.
Well, it's just a zombie.
I know, but it's some of the weirdest shit.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But that's freaky. See, that's some good shit to put in a movie.
Yeah, it's just freaky deaky.
What did you think about Grindhouse?
Oh,
it was Grindhouse Productions, right?
the chick with the one leg, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Rose McGowan with the sticks of.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ruin it. But with the wooden.
No, we're
planks for-
spoiling that shit.
But that was a modern. To me, that's the best modern zombie fucking movie.
Death Proof was pretty good too.
Yep, and Death Proof. But that zombie, I mean, they were freaky ass fucking zombies.
They were.
They did some crazy shit in it, like the dude that collected balls.
They sort of remind me of the Z's, except smarter. Have you seen Z Nation?
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
Z's that would evolve from that.
Yeah.
Because there was like different types of. We are going to review Z Nation on this show sometime.
Yes.
Just so you fuckers see what we're talking about.
It's coming soon
Yes.
to a YouTube channel near you.
This one, Outlaw. Ha. So if
Like
you were
and
to
subscribe, and you won't miss it.
hell yeah, if you were to list off, like, let's say 5 horror movies that the audience should watch before we close this out, what would they be?
My top 5
No, not top 5. Let's just say 10.
of all time or 80s time.
No, just I recommend for you to watch, since we've been doing this and talking, watch these motherfucking movies if you haven't seen this. For some millennial on their cell phone, picking boogers, and have only seen The Conjuring.
Okay, so you gotta see. Watch part 1 of them all. Look, watch part 1 of anything. Don't. Friday the 13th, the first one. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. There's 2. Watch the first Critters movie. Damn. If you want something a little lighter, watch the first Gremlins.
Indeed.
Man, that movie you can't.
And Dick Miller, the king of side horror, he's been in over 100 horror movies before he passed away.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, there's going way back, watch the original Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh,
That kicked it all off. And there was one called Buckets of Blood.
that was cool. I haven't that's been so long since I've thought about
They're
that.
just throwing some classics in there.
Yeah, throw in some classics.
Was it started?
Take it way back.
I mean, yeah, it's good filming for its era with the technology. Buckets of Blood is cool as shit. So there's 5 right there that you guys can check out that you may not have seen in different eras. Oh yeah, most of the 80s and 60s, 50s, but
You want me to throw some in?
yeah.
I would say House on the Left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a classic. It established so many different genres. Oh, man. Without naming the ones that I named before, I would have to say Halloween Part 1 because they kind of set the boogeyman phase.
Yeah.
Ghoulies. Since you brought up funny stuff, Ghoulies
Watch
is
the Ghoulies.
freaking hilarious.
You gotta see that.
Wishmaster in the early 80s, late 80s,
Good one.
90s. So many Puppet Master, like I said before. Pure gold. And I'm a big Chucky fan.
Oh yeah, can't leave out Chucky in the horror discussion.
As a matter of fact, before the show ends, I will be right back. Cousin, entertain him with something sexy. I will grab something really quick. Yes. Let's grab this. Hey.
How's it going?
Yes. We're going to open a toy here.
Yeah.
Yes, check it out. Chucky.
That's the one. He got it.
Right
Got
there.
Chucky.
We're going to do the back real quick since we're a little pulled for time. Child's Play Part 2. Now, what can we say about Chucky? I love Chucky. One of my favorite characters.
Yeah, it's just a cool idea.
Charles Lee Ray, killer. Puts his soul in a doll. Watch the series. Really good. They're making a TV series about it.
Really?
Yes.
It's about time.
With Don Mancini. Because, you know, they did that Child's Play with Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
which had nothing to do with Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a TV series that has everything to do with Chucky.
Well, hopefully get it right this time.
So do I. Now, we're going to open this toy. And I have that t-shirt right there. And I want the audience to check this out. Yeah, check out the box and check out Chucky. He's cool as shit. Look at his face. You notice he has a scar? And it's weird because I watched Child's Play 2 before we came here.
Yeah.
And he didn't have this scar. You know what I mean?
Which one?
That little cut right there.
Across his eye?
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, it would have been cooler, like, because Chucky loses his hand. And he sticks the knife in his hand.
Yeah.
It would have been
Why
cooler.
didn't they do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Go hardcore.
I think they took the Bride Chucky
Yeah.
and they just kind of patched some things up. But it's a cool Chucky. I'm glad to have him in my collection. Just so you guys know, check him out. Straight good guy. Look at what I'm talking about. I mean, because he didn't really.
He looks so innocent, doesn't he? Looks like just an ordinary doll.
And Child's Play 2, if you haven't
He
seen
would
it.
kill you if you turn your back or go to sleep with him. Right? He will fucking kill you.
And this is the John Mancini world. I love how cold Chucky. Spoilers again. How the sister from Part 2 comes back at the end and kicks some ass.
Yeah.
I love how the kid comes back and how everything comes back. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad I have this in my collection. I'm a little disappointed, that they couldn't make it more accurate. Remember that point where he lost his legs and he had the knife arm?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Like he was all Eddie Murphy from Trading Places. Come here. Let's play hide the soul. With the knife in his shit. That would have been awesome.
Fuck yeah.
But anyways, I'm the Comic Outlaw. This is Logan Slater. And we've been doing our love for the 80s, getting to know a new member of Comic Outlaw. Hit us up. We will be doing more shows. We will be invading
See you
your
guys
area.
next time.
Yes. And we will catch you on the flip side. Yeah.